Welcome. My name is Andrew Barron, and this is Well, It Depends, the podcast where I address financial decisions that can't be answered with a simple yes or no. This episode of Well, It Depends will continue our Career Blueprint series, where we discuss some of the goals, challenges, and trade offs that different professions exhibit over a career. Today, we're talking about police officers. But before we begin, a short disclaimer. This is being recorded on July 31st, 2025. The contents of this podcast are strictly for informational purposes only, and nothing said should be taken as investment, tax, legal, or insurance advice. It is important to consult with a professional before making any financial decisions, as the strategies discussed may not be suitable for you specifically. Getting into it. Today we're talking about police officers. This episode is for you if you work in law enforcement, whether you're on patrol, in a detective unit, or working at the command level. While departments and policies vary widely by jurisdiction, there are consistent financial dynamics in this career path worth understanding. Why do people choose this career? Police work can be a calling. Many officers pursue the job out of a sense of duty, a desire to protect their communities, or because they have other family in the field. It also offers a relatively straightforward path to a stable middle-class income. Many departments hire with just a high school diploma or associate's degree and offer full-time employment with benefits after completing an academy. Officers may receive overtime, hazard pay, and other incentives that boost their base salary. There's also a strong sense of security in many jurisdictions. Pensions are part of the appeal. Law enforcement often qualifies for retirement much earlier than other professions, qualifying for pensions at 20 or perhaps 25 years of service. But the job does come with trade-offs. It can be dangerous, stressful, and physically demanding. Injury and burnout are common. Let's talk about the financial picture at different stages. Early career, 20s and 30s. Starting salaries often range between $40,000 and $70,000 depending on your location. Many officers rely heavily on overtime to boost their overall comp. Retirement contributions are usually mandatory. The pension may feel very far away, so retirement savings outside of the pension is often neglected. Mid-career, 30s and 40s. Base pay may have risen to 80 or perhaps 120,000 on the high side. Overtime will continue to inflate earnings, especially in urban departments. Officers may begin to feel the physical or mental strain from the job, and therefore begin planning for the pension timeline, when to leave, and whether to work a second career afterwards. Savings outside the pension often still lag unless you have intentionally prioritized it. Late career, 50s and 60s. Some officers retire after 20 or 25 years of service and immediately begin collecting a pension. Others stay on to maximize benefits and to avoid dipping into the pension too early in life. Others may instead pursue second careers such as private security, investigations, and consulting. Health becomes a larger consideration, both in terms of insurability and job function. Retiring before Medicare eligibility at age 65 may potentially cause a healthcare gap unless specifically covered. Let's walk through some examples. Example 1. Chris, the early retiree. Chris joins the force at 22, works for 25 years, and retires at 47 with a pension paying 60% of his final average salary. He then picks up a part-time job doing private security work, earning another $40K. This allows him to delay touching his retirement accounts too soon. The lesson here is while the pension is powerful, it's important to have a plan to bridge the gap. Example 2. Nina, the mid-career saver. Nina starts at 28 and earns solid pay through overtime in a suburban department. She maxes out her retirement accounts and builds rental income on the side. By her 50s, she has both a pension and a portfolio. The lesson here is that officers who save outside of their pension build more flexibility and ultimately more long term wealth. Example 3, Eric, the burned out veteran. Eric joined at 23 and planned to retire at 50, but was instead forced to leave at 41 due to an injury. Because he had not saved outside of his pension and wasn't yet eligible for full benefits, his financial plan takes a major hit. The lesson here is relying solely on the pension can be risky since injury and illness may shorten your career. Key levers for police officers. Understand your pension, the vesting, retirement age, payout formula, and if you're married, the survivor options. It's also important to contribute to supplemental plans such as IRAs to build additional savings. It's important to consider insurance such as disability and life insurance in this line of work. It's also important to plan for healthcare in retirement, especially if you plan on retiring before the qualifying ages of Medicare. To recap, so how should a police officer save? Well, it depends. It depends on your department, your pension plan, your health, and how long you ultimately plan on staying in the field. While the pension is a strong foundation, it shouldn't be the only one. Life in retirement or after injury could look very different. If you do want to retire early, supplement your pension. If you plan to stay long term, then you should prioritize your health, savings, and career sustainability.